So I had this moment recently where I was at a local park where I live, and I was just staring at the trees. I mean, I do this quite a lot. So I was just staring at the trees, and it was just felt good. And suddenly it was just like the trees just became love. And there was this kind of, that kind of presence that I was normally aware of just had this feeling of, not even a feeling, like a sense of love. And I had this kind of knowing that I was that love, and I was that presence. And then I just had this kind of feeling rise up that made me feel like I didn't really need anything else, that was completely, that was everything, that was kind of wholeness. That was me, essentially. And that although I'd had moments before then through this Kundalini activation stages of kind of deep gratitude, it was much deeper than that. It was just as if all of the things that maybe I wanted in my life, or all of the things that maybe hadn't happened, none of it mattered, because I only really needed that presence and that love that was already me. So yeah, that was a really beautiful experience. After that experience, it felt like my intuition was a lot stronger. Like I was just much more aware of my mind and what it was saying. And I felt more connected to my intuition. And it felt like the actions that were coming, the actions that were happening. So for example, I decided that I was going to change career and do something different. All of that stuff seemed to be coming out of this presence or this intuition. It's the best way I can describe it. Instead of coming out of an idea that I had in my mind. So before, I may have thought about, I think I will do this. And then I would make plans, and I would schedule things and make goals. Whereas this time, it didn't feel like that. It just felt like it was naturally happening. Like everything was naturally happening, and I didn't need to plan anything. Didn't need to make any goals. I didn't even really need to decide what to do, in a way, because it was naturally just happening from a kind of presence or intuition. Like it was just all naturally unfolding. That's the best way I can describe it. And this really started to change the way I started to do things. Now, that's not to say that I don't use the mind. The mind will still say something like, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. But it almost seemed like this other part of me was stronger, and it was just going to, and it felt more freeing and more freeing to follow that than to follow the mind. So that's what I started to do. And my life started to change in quite dramatic ways, in very quick ways too, very suddenly, out of the blue. So yeah.